There are three primary issues early retirees face, and this one account, called a superhero account, could completely change how you're looking at your retirement. I'm going to show you an example so that you can understand how this might change your retirement in a big way. Before age 59 and a half, you're juggling these three things. Number one, cash flow. If you don't have Social Security coming in, is everything coming from your portfolio? Are you working part-time? And how much can you spend comfortably without feeling like you might run out of money later? Taxes. What's actually showing up as income? That's going to be the main topic for today's conversation. Number three is healthcare. Understanding how do you massage your income to pay way less when it comes to those healthcare premiums? Or is it something you should just stop worrying about? Which, yes, sometimes is my advice. This is where that superhero account is a secret weapon. Now, in this video, I'm going to be showing you the superhero account compared to a 401k, but not just side by side. I'm going to show an example where one is all 401k and one has a portion, so you can actually quantifiably see the benefits of having it, so you don't just take my word for it. First, let me know in the comments, do you already have a superhero account? Have you heard me talk about it 2 million times? Or at this point, are you like, I know I need it. This has finally given me the reassurance that I'm going to go do it. It's going to feel weird. Maybe I stop maxing out my 401k, even though I've always been told to do that, and start putting more money to that superhero account because I already have a lot in my 401k. If you did not, different story here. Otherwise said, if you didn't have a 401k or IRA that was in a healthy position, I might be the first person to go, superhero accounts, what are you, crazy? Go get that tax benefit from getting a deduction today and start saving for your retirement. But what I find is most of you already have saved and invested well. It's this other account you're missing out on, how to optimize. As a kind reminder, my name is Taublieb. I'm a certified financial planner, host of the Early Retirement Podcast, and Chief Growth Officer here at Root. If the superhero and the Roth and all this stuff that I love so much doesn't fuel you like it does for me, well, this is why we exist as financial planners, so that you can spend your time on what matters most. And I encourage you to go to our website, rootfinancial.com, scan this on your TV, or just head to our website, rootfinancial.com, which I already said, but I get so excited I said it twice. And you can go and you'll see a little button that says, see if you're a fit, and you'll be prompted to answer a few questions. And then, of course, that is a free call to see how we can help. Okay, so let's get into it. Number one, we're going to talk about person A here. And I'm going to give you all the assumptions, then I'm going to show you person B, okay? So person A, we're going to call them John. John has all of his money in a pre-tax account, a 401k. He saved and invested well. He heard he should max out his 401k, but he's 52 and he wants to be done working. Then we're going to say Jane over here. Jane is like, I also have a huge 401k. I'm a big baller, okay? My clients don't really say that, but they're big ballers, whether they know it or not. So they've got 1.5 million in a pre-tax 401k, no Roth, but they have 500,000 in a brokerage account, aka superhero. They both have 2 million net worth on paper, but very different retirements. Both of them want to retire immediately. They're 52. They work very hard for many years. They are ready to be done with the politics of work, and they've got the golden handcuffs, and they know if they just keep working, it's going to make their plan better, but they're ready to travel and start pursuing what matters most to them. They want to spend $80,000 a year. That's adjusted for inflation after taxes. So we're going to start with John. How the heck is John going to spend $80,000 a year? Okay. Well, first he could pay taxes and penalties if he started to pull from his 401k, but he probably doesn't want to do that. He could do a Roth ladder without taking outside cash, but that's not optimal. He could do substantial equal periodic payments. What the heck did you just call me? Yep, this is called SEPP. It's an option, not always recommended because it doesn't help you qualify for awesome healthcare subsidies and do Roth conversions. So don't love this idea. Then finally, there's Rule 72T distributions, which is certainly another option, also not optimal. None of these are flexible. They're all restrictive, and he's 52 and he wants to be done. But pretend he doesn't care and he chooses one of these options. He goes, I'm going to do Rule 72T, and he starts pulling from his 401k to live off that money, which is an option. Okay, so 80,000 is coming in, right? Nope. He needs more than that because he might need 90 or 100,000 to pay taxes to end up with 80,000 because that's what he wants to spend. So that's reducing or entirely eliminating any ACA subsidy. So we could be looking at higher premiums. We're talking $1,500 to $2,000 a month for healthcare. Just there alone, we could be looking at legitimately another $10,000, $15,000, $20,000 a year easily in healthcare costs. Now that's from 52 to 65. Now imagine he also wants to do Roth conversions because he's worried about RMDs later. Okay, you take another 100,000 to do a Roth conversion, just for example's sake, that's 180,000 of modified adjusted gross income. You're losing the ability to do cheap Roth conversions, and you're pushing yourself into a way higher tax bracket than you probably want. But that's not even the big risk. The big risk is this person, John, is probably going to delay retirement. He's probably going to go, no, I'm not going to retire yet. I don't have a way to easily create income. He's going to overspend on healthcare and taxes. And he might just avoid Roth conversions entirely and go, that's a future me issue. Now I'm going to show you Jane as an example of Jane doesn't have everything in a superhero account. She doesn't even have half in a superhero account. She has 500,000 in a superhero account, and it changes things in a big way. Now I'm sure you're wondering, well, how much of a big way? And a reminder, both people, same net worth, both want to retire at 52. One person just maxed everything to their 401k forever. And the other person said, maybe I should try this other account. They want $80,000. Well, they're pulling that from their superhero account. Is 80,000 their income? No, 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 no. Let's assume they have a high cost basis. You bought Apple stock for 60,000. Now it's worth 80,000. Okay, great. If you sell Apple, I'm just going to take an example here. You're not paying taxes on all $80,000 of income. Why? 60,000 is your own money that you put in. That's your own principal. You're only taxed on the gains, and you're taxed at capital gains brackets, which is lower than ordinary income. So your income could theoretically be zero if you're optimizing tax gain harvesting, which is not the topic for today. But let's just say your income's $20,000, $25,000. That's your MAGI, modified adjusted gross income. Well, healthcare subsidies are based off your federal poverty level, your income. So it's not looking at if you have $2 million in the bank. That doesn't matter. You could have $20 million. Your premiums could be $200 a month. So yeah, you just saved potentially $15,000, $20,000 a year in healthcare from legitimately 52 when you retire to 65, right? Not exactly, because their healthcare premiums, they're still going to exist. You still pay them. This brokerage account, they have 500,000 in there. So it depends on how much they want to spend. If they blow through it in 5 years, you'd get 5 years of low healthcare premiums. And then it would increase because then you would start pulling from a 401k. Another reason, if you're retiring really early, you want to have the superhero account. Now, assume your income is very low, but you want to do Roth conversions. Why? You still have 1.5 million in a 401k. If that keeps compounding, 1.5 million becomes 2 million, 2.5, 3 million. You're looking at significant RMDs. So in these years where your income is low because you're living off of that superhero account, you can start to do the Roth conversions and they're more effective. Because if you had 100,000 you're living off of, and then you need another 100,000 to do a conversion, that's 200,000 of income. So that extra 100,000, that's being taxed at those higher marginal brackets. As opposed to, stick with me here, when you have a Roth conversion that you're implementing, when you're living off a brokerage account, it's looking at your income as your Roth conversion almost exclusively. So yeah, you might have dividends and interest and living off some brokerage account money. So your income, your modified adjusted gross income might start at 30,000 or 40,000. Then if you do a $50,000 conversion, your total income is 90,000. So what you're doing is you're making those Roth conversions more effective. You're paying more taxes at maybe 12%, 22% instead of 24 and 32%. That's what makes Roth conversion so impactful. And by the way, where do you think we pay the taxes on these Roth conversions? If you have $100,000 that you want to convert, you can convert it and you have to pay those taxes. So not only does it increase your income, you now have a tax bill you have to pay. Well, imagine you don't have a superhero account to be able to pay that tax bill. What are you going to do? Now you have to withhold even more from a 401k. And that, by the way, if you're below 59 and a half, if you're younger then, should I say, that's triggering another penalty because you're pulling from that. So this is another reason you need the superhero, guys, I'm telling you. So what happened with Jane in this example? She retired at 52. She controlled her taxable income every year, maximized ACA subsidies all the way till Medicare, gradually shifts money to Roth at lower tax brackets, much lower lifetime tax bill, and much smoother retirement cash flow. Don't believe me yet? Look at this cool graphic here. So you can see retiring earlier with this one account with a 401k, it's all high taxable income, way bigger expenses, big tax bills, large RMDs, and oftentimes people delay their retirement. Versus the brokerage and 401k, you can lower your taxable income, qualify for subsidies, do more effective conversions, pay for healthcare expenses, retire at 52, and enjoy it. So this is a lot to manage. I recognize that. Obviously, I love this stuff. If you don't love it to the degree I do, make sure to reach out. This is what we want to help you with here at Root Financial. You can scan this on your TV, or of course, you can go to our website, rootfinancial.com, use the link in the description, and let them know that I sent you. And we look forward to the opportunity of serving you. As always, please like this video and subscribe for more content like this.